When you hear the word census, you may automatically think of the thing that happens every 10 years. Well, you're on the right track. When data is collected in the field, it's either a sample of the population or census of the entire population. Sampling is when we collect data for a smaller section of the whole population to infer knowledge about the whole group, especially to make prediction using statistics. As such, there are different types of sampling methods, including simple random, systematic, stratified, and cluster sampling, but let's just briefly touch on them. Using these methods, it's possible to analyze unbiased data using statistics. Luckily, ArcGIS includes statistical analysis tools, and other free programs like GeoDay are available for you to use as well. You don't need to dig out your scientific calculator just yet. A census is a systematic collection of information about all the members of a given population. We could be talking about people, trees, traffic, sea turtles, beavers, ducks, and so on. Anything is possible with ample time and resources, namely financial resources. Every 10 years, all good citizens of the United States participate in the population census administered by the U.S. Census Bureau. This is a huge undertaking costing nearly $7 billion to implement. The original obligation was and is to provide the most complete and accurate population count possible for the appointment of seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. Beyond this obligation, numerous other needs arose over the years, like redistricting of states, the charting of social and economic trends, the distribution of public funds authorized in state and legal legislation, and the administration of public and private programs. All of these needs require the Census Bureau to recognize many kinds of geographical areas: legal, administrative, and statistical. The success of the census or sample survey not only depends on how well the Census Bureau designs the questionnaire, collects the data, and processes the results, but also how well it links the data to the geographic areas. As you can imagine, linking the questionnaire and address to the proper legal, administrative, and statistical area in a data set to be provided to the public can be pretty involved. Data derived from this massive survey of the population is compiled and distributed by the Census Bureau on their website, with data about population, household, housing, mortgage status, tenure, family, age, race, and ethnicity, and even many, many more topics. You can imagine that there are a slew of uses in GIS. For example, the U.S. Census counts the flow of billions of dollars of federal expenditures, including contracts and federal aid to states and municipalities. In 1995, some $70 billion of that Medicaid funds were distributed according to a formula that compared state and national per capita income. $18 billion worth of highway planning and construction funds were allotted to states according to their shares of urban and rural population. And $6 billion of that aid to families with dependent children was distributed to help children of the poor families do better in school. The two thematic maps shown here illustrate the strong relationship between population counts and the distribution of federal tax dollars. To derive this information, two types of forms have been used. A short form consisting of 10 questions is provided to all households, and a long form consisting of around 60 questions is given to 1 in 6 households. Through the year 2000, data associated with questions asked of all households are 100% data, and is distributed as a data package called a Summary File 1 or an SF1. Data estimated from samples are called sample data, and packages Summary File 3 or SF3. In 2005, the Bureau launched a new project called the American Community Survey that surveys a representative sample of households on an ongoing basis. Every month, one household out of every 480 in each county or equivalent area receives a survey similar to the old long form. Annual or semi-annual estimates produced from American Community Survey samples replaced the SF data product in 2010. And you know what? That just reminds me that I actually have that form sitting in my office that I need to complete right now, because I am a good GIS ninja and I will complete my census form. To protect respondents' confidentiality, as well as to make the data most useful to legislators, the Census Bureau aggregates the data it collects from household surveys to several different types of geographic areas. Take a look at the bottom figure. When we go from big to small, top to bottom, Summary Table 1, for instance, are reported to the block or the tract level. There were about 8.5 million census blocks in 2010. By definition, census blocks are bounded on all sides by streets, streams, or political boundaries. Census tracts are larger than the are larger areas that have been between 2,500 and 8,000 residents. When first delineated, tracts were relatively homogeneous with respect to population characteristics, economic status, and living conditions. A typical census tract consists of about 5 or 6 sub-areas called block groups. As the name implies, block groups are composed of several census blocks. American Community Survey estimates like the SF3 data that precedes them. They're important and reported at the block group level or higher. A simple internet search on census data and GIS will result in various projects and tutorials on how to work with the census data if you tweak your search just right. It's readily available data and it's useful and free. It's a data goldmine. From ArcGIS Online, we can view and download several census layer packages. Next time you're in that program, check it out.